Before we get started, I want to mention that everything that I talk about in this video and future videos in this series will be available from FoxyNoTail.com/how-to, which is a brand new section of my website all about how to make add-ons. It includes software, resources, download links, downloads to tutorial files, and all of the videos from this series as well. So make sure you check it out for all of the information you could possibly need, all in one place. Hello, I'm FoxyNoTail and welcome to a brand new tutorial series. This series is going to teach you all about how to make add-ons and resource packs for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, and we're going to start right at the beginning, how to get yourself set up so you can make them. We're going to be focusing on Windows 10. I'm sorry this doesn't cover mobile or consoles. This is all Windows 10 based. You will need a PC in order to be able to do this, and we're going to go through all of the software and the files and the things you're going to need in order to get started into making add-ons and resource packs. We'll start at the beginning, and as this series goes on, we will get more advanced. Anyway, so without further ado, let's look at the 4 main programs that I use for making add-ons and resource packs. And we're going to start with the obvious one. If you've had anything to do with add-ons and resource packs, then you will have heard of something called Bridge, a purpose-built bit of software that is designed purely for making behavior packs and resource packs for Minecraft, which is absolutely wonderful. However, I don't use it. I'm showing you it because it's an amazing resource for getting started, and it has literally everything you could possibly need in order to get going with making add-ons and resource packs. But for me, it hides a little bit too much of that important information away, and it does add quite a lot of bloat to your packs and resources that you just don't need. But here it is. It's nice and simple to use. And you can create a new behavior pack just by clicking that icon there. You can give it a project name, which is basically the name of your behavior pack. So I put _B at the end. That's important later on for being able to determine the difference between your behavior pack and resource pack. You've got a namespace, which is really important. Everything that you make inside of an add-on, such as an entity or a block or an item, will have a unique namespace, which basically tells the game what pack it's from. All of the Minecraft vanilla items have Minecraft for the namespace, so you can't use that, but you can use pretty much anything else you want. Now, it's a good idea to keep it small because it makes your code less messy and it's easy to remember. So I go with FNT for FoxyNoTail. You can go with whatever you want. And then you've got a pack description, which really doesn't matter what that is. That's just what comes up in game and tells you what the pack's about. So I've just put there a basic pack for this tutorial. And then you've got a drop down list for which version you want it in. And of course, we want to be in the latest version, which as making this video is 1.16.220. I'm not interested in the rest of that. So if I click create now, I get a whole new pack that's been made. And what's really good about that is it goes straight in to the actual folder where I can access it from Minecraft. So that's already installed in Minecraft. I don't need to fiddle with it anymore, which is fantastic. I can even click on the left hand side here and create a whole new resource pack to go with it. And it's a good idea to call that resource pack the same name, but with an _R at the end. And that way you know they're part of the same pack, but one's got a B for the behavior pack and one's got an R for the resource pack, which makes it a lot easier to find it later on. Again, the description, you can put in whatever you want. And then when you create that, again, that will go directly into the game, so you don't have to do anything else, and it will fill it full of files, which are completely unnecessary that you don't need. And that's why I don't like Bridge. Reason number 1, because it adds so many files that you just don't need it to add for your resource packs and behavior packs, which means the game's got to process more code that might actually end up getting in the way of what you're trying to do. But Bridge has got some fantastic features. Not only will it help you actually create the packs without having to understand all of the files and how to code, but it's also got tools such as presets. So we can come along to the presets and we can make a completely custom new human. Let's call it Foxy2, and that's going to actually add in not just all of the files for our behavior pack, but also for the resource pack as well, including textures. So we've just made a complete new entity ready to go. Now that entity is not going to do what we want it to do or act in the way that we want it to act, and it's not going to look the way we want it to look. But all you got to do now is edit those files to make it do what you want it to do. So Bridge is really powerful, and it's great for people that don't really know a great deal about coding, that want to make packs quickly and easily. But for me, as somebody that likes to have more control over what I do, it's just not that great. Before we move on to the next piece of software though, the other great thing about Bridge is that it has direct access to all of the documentation that you need for making add-ons. If we click on the documentation tab and then go to add-ons, it will open up a web page called bedrock.dev And this is the best website in the world for making add-ons and resource packs. It's got literally everything you need. So let's say we want to make an entity. We can go to entities here and we can then see everything there is in the entire game for all of the different things to control our entities. This website I spend probably more time on than any other website. And it's also got a really handy wiki that's attached to it as well, which just teaches you how to do all of these things. So if you're interested in learning from scratch, this is a really good guide to get going. Anyway, back to Bridge. There's a few other bits that you can add in there. There's even some extensions. Now people are building extensions to make coding these things even easier, but that's as far as I'm going to go with it. It's great for making your start of a new pack, but it does add a lot of bloatware and it hides a lot of the code of the way that you really need to see. So for instance, looking at this entity for Foxy 2, I have to click about 1 million arrows to try and find the information that what's actually going on with this thing before I even see it. So let's get rid of Bridge and go to the bit of software that I use the most, which is actually a program called Notepad++, and it is just a basic text editor, but it's incredibly powerful. But what really brings Notepad++ forward is all of the plugins you can add to it that help actually with your coding. Now, there aren't any Minecraft specific ones which I know about, but there are ones for things like comparing two files to see where you've made mistakes or just to see what's different between the old versions and the new versions. There's ones for formatting your code and checking your code, and there's even ones for generating new UUIDs with handy shortcuts, which means that you can update the UUIDs for your files really easily without having to mess about with going online and finding a UUID generator. And we'll get more into UUIDs later because they're a nightmare. So Notepad++ is very quick, very lightweight, and really easy to see what you're doing. But I'm going to show you something that I think is a little bit better. And that is Visual Studio Code, which is a completely free but incredibly powerful bit of software that allows you to do so much and more. And what's even better about this is there are already hundreds of extensions being made for this software which are actually built for coding in JSON, which is what add-ons and resource packs are coding on, but also for Minecraft itself as well. There's all sorts of Minecraft extensions which will help you build your resource packs and your add-ons, which will do a lot of the hard work for you, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to be focusing on using Visual Studio Code for now because it just makes life so much easier, and you get 100% view of everything going on in your packs. Nothing's hidden behind walls like it is in Bridge, and it doesn't bloat your packs with all sorts of rubbish. So those are the 3 bits of software that I would recommend. If you're a beginner, go for Bridge. If you're an intermediate or advanced, go for Notepad++. And if you want just flexibility and overall power, go for Visual Studio Code. The other thing that's really, really handy is something called Blockbench. Now, this is for designing your models for entities and for even for custom blocks for making textures and things like that. And it's a ridiculously powerful 3D modeling tool specifically built for Minecraft. Now, it works for Java Edition and Bedrock Edition, and it allows you to just make whatever shapes you want, texture them, and import them into the game. And it's really smart as well. It will actually do a lot of the hard work for you, which saves you a lot of time with coding and editing later on, which is fantastic. Now, all of the software that I spoke about is 100% free. You don't have to pay for anything, so you can get going at absolutely zero cost to yourself making add-ons. But where do you start? Well, I suppose we should probably start at the beginning inside of Minecraft and figure out where we need to be building our add-ons and resource packs so that we can work with them in a fluid and streamlined manner. If we go into settings and then go down to global resources, you'll see that we have active packs. Well, there's nothing in there other than the Minecraft vanilla stuff. And we've got my packs, which has got a couple of packs that I've been working on for these tutorials. Now, in order to get those packs into the game and be able to work on them at the same time, there's a couple of special folders where we need to store all of these files. Now, unfortunately, there isn't an easy way to get to it in game, so we're going to have to use our Windows Explorer. So grab yourself an Explorer window, and in the URL bar, we're going to type in local app data. And then we're going to put a % on each side of that, hit enter, and that's going to take us to our local app data folder. And in there is another folder further down called packages. Click on packages and scroll down that for far enough and you'll find one that is called Microsoft.minecraft.uwp. and inside that there is a folder called local state, and inside that there is a folder called games, and inside that there's a folder called com.mojang, which is where we're going to be working. Ignore what I've got going on here. This is because I use a version switcher, which you can get from my website. For everyone else, it's just com.mojang, and in there you've got a whole bunch of folders, and the two ones we're going to be looking at mostly is development behavior packs and development resource packs. Now, behavior packs and resource packs is where your finished packs will go, but the development ones are where you put them when you're actually developing them, and the advantage of using those folders is that they don't get cached by the game, which means every time you load a world, it will reload all of the information from that pack. So if you've made a subtle change, it will load that change in without you having to generate a new pack with a new UUID and all of that sort of rubbish. It will just allow you to work on it on the fly as you're actually using those files, which is fantastic. So you can see here in my development behavior packs folder, I've got one called Getting Started B, which was automatically generated by Bridge that we did earlier. And I've got one in my development resource packs called Getting Started R. Again, that was generated for us automatically. Now, the other things that you're going to need in order to get going with making these packs is the vanilla files themselves from the game. It's really important to have a copy of what actually goes on behind the scenes in vanilla Minecraft so that you can look through it and see what they're doing, and you can then copy that into what you're doing in order to make things how you want them to be and know that you're getting it right. So how do we get hold of those files? Well, going back to the Bridge program, you can actually use the vanilla packs tab on the side, and you'll see we've got BP for behavior pack and RP for resource pack, and all of the files are already in there, but they're in a format that's really difficult to see and get an overview of what's going on. It's really, I don't know, I just find it really difficult to actually find what I want from in there. I want to see the whole file, not just the bits of it wants to show me. Now, we can sit here forever and click on all of these little arrows and get everything expanded, but we're still not actually seeing the code. If you right click on something, you can see the code behind it, but it's only giving you a snippet, which isn't very ideal. Now, for me, I prefer to have the physical files for those so that I can see everything in full, and there's two ways to get those. If we go to minecraft.net/en-us/addons, you will get this page, which if you scroll down far enough, you will find some downloads for the vanilla resource pack and behavior packs for the game. If we click on those, it will give us a download, and then we can open up that download, which is a zip file, and we can extract it somewhere on our computer. However, when we open it up, for the behavior pack particularly, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of stuff missing that we saw in Bridge. If we look at the behavior pack in Bridge, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 folders full of all of the information that we need for making behavior packs. However, when we get the one that the Minecraft developers give us, it's only got 8 folders. So we're missing 4 folders of vital information. Now, if you want that extra information, there's a really easy way to get it, again, using Windows 10. Get yourself over to Google and search for Mr. Arm's MC Launcher, or check the link for the description below. If you download this launcher, it's basically a version switcher or a version launcher for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, which downloads the versions to folders on your computers that you can easily access. Once you've downloaded it and run it, you'll see it has pretty much every single version for the Minecraft Bedrock Edition game that's ever come out, and a lot of those say beta next to it. Now, you can download those beta ones if you're in the beta program. However, it is a bit glitchy, and you will need to have purchased the game. This is not a free way to get the game. This app actually talks to the Microsoft Store with the account that you're logged in on, and it downloads the game through your account, so you have to own the game to get them. But if you download the latest vanilla one, because we're going to be making a stable release resource pack, and click download, you will get it downloaded, and then you can even launch it from this launcher. But we're not interested in launching the game, we're interested in the files. So going to the folder where MC Launcher lives, you'll see that there are 4 folders for the 4 versions of the game that I've downloaded, with 1.16.220.2 being the latest one. And if I open that up and go into data, you'll see we get all of the information that's in the game. Everything that makes the game work is in there, or everything that we can access and change, and most of those things can be tweaked or changed with add-ons and resource packs. So we've got all of the different vanilla behavior packs, including all of the stuff that's going on in the latest editions, and including ones that have happened in older editions. The same thing with resource packs. We've also got a definitions folder, which gives those extra folders that we were missing from the vanilla texture packs we downloaded from Minecraft.net, such as biomes, feature rules, features, and spawn groups, which are really useful if you're interested in doing custom generation. So now you've got all of those files, how do you get it all set up nicely so that it's easy to work with? Well, we're going to go back to Visual Studio Code and we're going to set up a workspace for our add-on and our resource pack so that we've got access to all those files right here on one page and make life nice and easy for us. So I'm going to clear all of this space that we've got here now, like that. I'm going to get rid of this entity tutorial folder there by clicking remove folder from workspace and this entity tutorial R and remove that. Now you can see I've already got all of the vanilla files in here, but I'm going to remove those now just to show you how to bring them back in again. So basically when you start Visual Studio Code from scratch, you'll get this page. And if you click on this tab up here, you will get this Explorer, no folder open. Just click on add folder and then find the folders you want to add. So we're going to go to our development behavior packs. We're going to go to our getting started tutorial, the B for behavior pack, which is what we created earlier. And we're going to add that into here. We're then going to go to File, Add Folder to Workspace, and we're going to do the same thing for the resource packs, which is in the Development Resource Packs folder. We're going to add that in there. And then we're going to find those files from the MC Launcher version folder and add these in here as well. So this time I'm going to right click, Add Folder to Workspace, and now it's actually on my desktop. So if I go to my desktop, MC Launcher, and then the latest version of the game, and then the data folder and add that, I've got all of the data from vanilla Minecraft right there. Now be warned, if you're doing this and you're using MC Launcher to actually play your game, if you change any of these files, it will affect your game. So make sure you don't actually change anything within that data folder, only within your behavior pack and resource pack folders. So now we've got all of those things there, what can we do with it? Well, we can look at the behavior packs that exist in the vanilla game and we can say, well, I actually want to make an entity that's very similar to a bat. Let's make one of those. So we're going to copy the bat file from there. We're going to put it in our entities folder, in our getting started thing. We're going to paste it in there and then we can open it up and work on it however we need to. And we can edit these to our heart's content. So that really is getting started with all of the stuff you need. So what extensions am I running for Visual Studio Code? Well, let's check that out. I've got quite a few. I don't actually know which ones do what. I just went through the list and I just downloaded everything that I thought looked great for Minecraft. So you can see here we've got bedrock definitions, which helps you auto-complete some of the code as you're writing it for a lot of the bedrock behavior packs and resource packs. We've got better comments to help us actually comment our code, and we've got Blockception's Minecraft Bedrock development extension again, which just helps us with formatting our code for the Bedrock add-ons properly. I'm also using Compare It, so I can compare two files together, which I find a really useful thing to be able to do, particularly when I'm updating an old pack to a new pack, or if I want to see a change I've made from something before, I can literally click on one and then the other, and it will show me the differences between those two things. And different folders will also compare two entire folders against each other to tell you inside which folders have changed or which files have changed, so you can see which files need updating or which ones you have changed since the last time you worked on it. I got a couple of JSON extensions here to help with formatting JSON because all of the behavior pack code is written in JSON. It also helps with error reporting and things like that as well. I've also got the Minecraft JSON schemes as well, because the schemes for Minecraft are slightly different from the standard JSON. Having that in there just means that you're not going to get any false positives with your error reporting, which is great. And again, it helps you with your formatting to get it right for Minecraft. And then last but not least, really useful one is the UUID generator. Whenever you make a new pack, whether it is an add-on or a resource pack or both, or you update your pack, you've got 3 UUIDs you need to deal with, and having something that you can just click on and then generate a UUID to make a new one is just so invaluable. It's really handy to be able to do that rather than having to go online, find a UUID generator and build it from scratch. So yeah, having that at your fingertips is really useful. And the last really important key thing to do inside your Minecraft game is to turn a couple of toggle switches on. If you go to settings and then profile and then scroll down to content log settings, make sure that you have enable content log file and enable content log GUI. And what that will do is actually show you errors that you've made in your packs in your game. Minecraft actually does its own error reporting. If you've made an error in one of your files, it will tell you, and it's pretty good at telling you exactly what the error is as well. So let's check that out. I've added a couple more folders to this workspace for the entity tutorial that I'm working on. If I go to resource pack and to the entity folder and tutorial entity, and I make a mistake with my geometry, maybe I give the geometry the wrong name there, and then try and load that pack inside of Minecraft. So if I go to this world does have the entity packs already included. If I try and play that world, it's going to tell me that it can't find the model that it's looking for. There we go. So we've got geometry error. It's disappeared, which means I need to now go to settings and then profile and then content log history. Now show me, it's a geometry error. So I know the error has got something to do with geometry, and it's telling me the error is in my FNT tutorial entity file, and it tells me that the geometry is not found. So if it can't find the geometry, why can't it find the geometry? Chances are I've probably not called it the right thing. Oh yes, there's an S on the end there. Let's get rid of that S, save that file, go back to Minecraft, open that world again, and this time when the world loads up, we're not going to get that error, and the entities that I'm standing there all pop into place. So there you go. That's how we get set up making add-ons and resource pack in Minecraft. If you want to know more about this, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more of these tutorials. They will be coming. The next one is going to be how to make an entity in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. So make sure to check that out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.